A FlimsyLunchTray here with a speedrun Lenin game of 200k damage in 6 minutes. So, besides the USS Massachusetts at Tier 8 being one of my favorite Tier 8 battleships in the game, the Lenin comes in at a hot second and being my second favorite Tier 8 battleship within the game. This ship was removed... I'm trying to remember if it was 10.4 or 10.5 they removed Lenin. And I picked it up just before they were going to remove it from the game, and I'm really glad I did because Lenin is just a very fantastic battleship to play with having these three 4 and 6 millimeter turrets and the forward part of the ship. The ship didn't, of course, exist in real life, but it was a project ship developed under the Big Fleet program. So basically, I'm going to highlight kind of my decision-making process as we get closer here to fight in the action here and pushing up on the Charlie cap here as I'm divisioned up with another clanmate. So we're moving in. I'm trying to keep this somewhat of an angle so I can have all my turrets ready to go whenever there's a ship decides to step on to the cap. You can get decent concealment with Lenin, but it's just something I don't think I've actually decided to go for with Lenin at this point in time. So we have this Ashitaka in the back who's showing us a fair bit of side. Looks like he's turning in now, so we'll have to see if we end up doing... yeah, 8,400. Pretty nice. So that's the start of the time for the damage. So basically like 1804 roughly. Is where we got or began our damage. So around almost the 12-minute mark is where we're going to end up at with 200,000 damage. So one of the reasons why this works so well and I'm able to do what I do is because you have ships like this Devonshire who are just showing a lot of broadside, and we use the third turret for this Bismarck. They're showing a lot of broadside, and you can slap them for something like that with getting a Citadel. We know that there's a sub around there, so we're going to go ahead and use depth charge airstrikes, just one for now. But when the enemy team is making these poor positions, they're showing a lot of broadside and being able to set up in the start of the match, you can usually take quite a lot of advantage of that, especially if you're in a battleship in a situation like this. So up to 24,000 damage now. I'll call out the Devonshire. He's low on health, so hopefully our team can pick him off. We're sending more depth charges in against enemy submarine and still not got any hits yet. But the cap is being taken, so he's somewhere in there, just don't know exactly where. So here is just disciplining myself to hold the shot until I see him decide to make the turn. And when he commits to making the turn, that is when we let our salvo go. And yeah, do something like 26,000 damage. So when I talked about this a while back, but when you are developing as a player, there's something like being able to practice fire control as when to pull the trigger. You know, I used to think as a player, as soon as my guns reloaded, I needed to fire immediately. That's not the case, because you can get, you know, really huge damage numbers if you just hold your shot for maybe 5-10 seconds and get a broadside salvo in like we did on that Algerie. So depth charges are about to come back off cooldown again, so we know that sub's sitting around the corner of that island there. Here I'm just inching up ever so slightly. This Bismarck now, he's showing broadside, right? So it's like, well, we're going to take advantage of that now, aren't we? So even with that turtleback armor, not being able to punch through the Citadel, he's still good chances of eating a lot of full pins. So that's a 19k salvo. We're still harassing the submarine in the meantime and hitting him with depth charges and flooding, which he's flooding right now because the damage is sticking. So we can keep making our influence known. So, and there he goes. That's nice. Get submarine out of the game. F1 remaining. So now we're going to inch up on this Bismarck. And so we have our turrets going out here on the Bismarck. But we aimed a little high, so not too much damage happening in that salvo. But 15-minute mark, we're at 87,000 damage. I'm playing around the island right now just because I don't feel the need to necessarily push right out yet. I'm also trying to deny the Ashitaka from getting any salvos into myself while showing... I don't want to show too much side because you can get punished for sure if you're showing too much side, broadside in Lenin. But Lenin has some very strong armor. You can bounce a little bit more than often what you think you can. So Bismarck goes broadside again. So 19,000 damage to 13,800. So we're just continuing to punish the broadside. Sergeant Murder in the Duke of York is causing kind of some chaos here as he's pushed down the 10 line. And so it's really distracting the enemy team because if they angle towards him, they're showing broadside to me. If they angle towards me, they're pretty much showing broadside to him, allowing him to set up really well and us to work together as a team here. And now I get a broadside salvo at the Ashitaka. So what is this going to do? Yep. So this smacked him for over half of his health, over at 28,000, but now 130,000 damage. So our team is mopped up at A. We have some pushing in from Bravo. So we have this Atlanta here, who's hunting down Akatsuki. So I'm trying to disengage. I have to help my team out here and deal with this threat as I don't want to be showing broadside or sailing away, as Sergeant has that, I think that enemy Ashitaka to himself. So we also have the enemy Italian battleship, the Veneto, pushing up, and have some HE spam from the New Orleans coming in. So I'm debating how I want to enter the situation, and was holding my shot, waiting to hopefully this Atlanta to come out from around side the island. There we only got a 1,300 damage salvo in. But our team has been doing really well, as we've won both flanks, and now the enemy team is just kind of in the middle and in their middle back spawn here. So I decide that I'm going to go ahead and we'll go around the island. I'm being mindful of the Atlanta torpedoes. His torpedoes do not have a very long range, but still need to consider the threat that they may pose. I'm hoping maybe we can polish off this Algerie, who we slapped earlier. So I'm only going to fire one turret at him for right now, but he's slowed down. He's turned out. So I don't think we're going to be able to get too much damage in on him. And then we have the Veneto coming out of towards us with his smoke screen. He fired, but I mean, he fired right next to us, so his smoke's not really going to do anything. So I'm going to have to turn into him, and then here comes the enemy Atlanta. So he's come in, he's 4 kilometers away. I'm pretty sure that Atlanta torps are 4 kilometers. But here, pay attention to this, okay? I'm aiming too high. I'm aiming high enough, these AP shells are just going completely through the ship. But on this shot, if I aim a little bit lower, more into the water line, because he's sailing a little bit towards me, then better chance of getting that Citadel hit and ramming the Veneto, because I'm expecting Atlanta torpedoes to come in here, picking up our 200k damage game. So not a lot happens in the rest of it, so I don't want to keep you held up. But that is a 200k speed run with the Russian Tier 8 premium battleship, the Lenin. So we're going to get multiple achievements here between General Offensive, Brothers in Arms, Strike Team, Confederate, High Caliber, with the 2 destroyed, 5 Citadel hits, and also the 8 depth charge is hits on the enemy submarines. So if Lenin ever does come back into the game, I do recommend picking up the Lenin. She's a very strong Tier 8 battleship. I haven't actually played the Vladivostok yet, except on the public test server. So I need to see how that tech tree Russian battleship feels. Here's the detailed report, and then we'll go into the credits and XP earnings with premium account to give you an idea of what you might earn in a quick speed run like this. So I hope you enjoyed this shorter video today on this speed run with Lenin. If you did, let me know. Give the video a thumbs up. If you did not like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you'd like to see more, subscribe. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.